Most people running businesses right now are drowning in noise. Every week there is a new AI tool, a new platform update, a new thing that you're supposed to be doing, and somewhere in the middle of all of that, the actual job of growing your brand, acquiring customers, and building something that lasts, it's getting harder to focus on. That's why I built this podcast, The Unlock. I'm Oliver Bruce, I'm the founder and CEO of Pinpoint Media, a performance marketing and paid media agency based in the UK. We run campaigns for some of the most ambitious brands in the world. We live in the data, we test the creative, and we operate at the intersection of where creativity meets performance. And over the last few years, I've watched AI and automation completely reshape what's possible for marketeers and business owners. Not in theory, but in practice. In the ad account, in the creative studio, in the way brands acquire and retain customers at scale. This is for anyone, essentially, running a business or a brand who knows things are changing fast and wants a way to stay ahead. Whether you're scaling a startup, leading a marketing team, or just trying to figure out what AI and automation actually means for your bottom line, The Unlock is built for you. No hype, no theory, just what's working, what's changing, and what you should be doing about that. Now, let's get into the episode. In this episode, there are three things that I want you to walk away with. First is a clear understanding of why most businesses are getting zero compounding value from AI and exactly why that is. The second is a step-by-step process for building a Claude project that acts as a living knowledge bank, essentially, for your entire business. And the third is the iteration loop that makes that knowledge bank smarter over time so that every decision, every piece of copy and every strategic output that you want gets better the longer that you use it. The biggest mistake that I see businesses making with AI right now is starting from zero every single day. Every morning you open a new chat window or a new tab. You type in a prompt, you get a generic answer, you spend 20 minutes trying to get the AI to understand your brand voice, your target market, your target audience, your business's context, and you finally get something that might be usable. You then close the window and tomorrow you do the exact same thing over and over again. This is not leverage. What this actually is Groundhog Day. If you actually want to build a competitive advantage with AI, then you need to stop treating it like a search engine and start treating it as your second brain, essentially, for your business. I'm going to walk you through exactly how I use Claude to build a living, breathing knowledge bank, a kind of central repository, if you will, of information that gets smarter every time that you use it, that improves your team's decision making and that guarantees essentially every piece of creative strategy or copy you're producing is deeply anchored in your business's context. The reason most AI outputs sound like they're written by a robot is because the AI has absolutely no context at all. It doesn't know what you stand for, it doesn't know what your customers really care about, it doesn't know what you tried last year and failed at, so it has no real context. The solution to this is a feature in Claude called Claude Projects. If you're not using projects, you're essentially leaving the best part of Claude on the table. A project allows you to create a dedicated workspace and upload all of your core business documentation directly into it. You're effectively training the model on your specific business, what makes it tick, what makes it run. When I started doing this at Pinpoint Media, which is my agency, it completely changed how we operate. I took our kind of brand guidelines, our tone of voice documents, our best performing case studies. Frankly, I even took our client onboarding materials and the transcripts from our most successful sales calls, and I uploaded them directly into a single Claude project. Then, what I did was I wrote a master system prompt for that specific project. The prompt said, you are the strategic brain of Pinpoint Media. You understand our tone of voice, which is direct, authoritative, or actionable. You understand our target audience, which is specifically ambitious founders, CMOs, whatever it might be. And whenever I ask you to draft a document, you review the information within Claude Projects, you analyze the data, and you must filter your response through the information provided. Don't give me a generic industry standard piece of guidance. Give me advice that aligns with how we actually operate. So it was a fairly deep prompt. The difference in the output was night and day. When a team member essentially goes into that project to draft a proposal, they don't have to explain who we are. The AI directly knows. the draft comes out sounding exactly like we do. So when I go into that project to bounce ideas around for a new service offering, the AI pushes back based on what it knows about our current capabilities and past successes. It is not just agreeing with me, it is acting as a strategic sparring partner, if you will, that actually understands my business, a virtual business partner, for want of a better phrase. But here's where it gets really powerful. A knowledge bank should not just be static. It needs to iterate and grow with you. So every time that we run a campaign and we get the performance data back, we upload that data directly into the project. Every time we have a strategic breakthrough in a client meeting, we drop the notes directly into that project. Every time we refine our onboarding process, the new documentation goes directly into our Claude project. The project becomes a compounding asset. It is a living record of what works and essentially what doesn't. If you're a founder or a market leader, this solves essentially one of the hardest problems in business, which is knowledge transfer, right? A lot of friction when you're trying to do that. When you hire a new senior strategist, how long does it actually take them to really understand how your business thinks? 3, 6, 12 months potentially? If you've actually built your brain in Claude, you give them access to the project on day one. They can then directly quiz it and ask it questions. What is our standard approach to B2B lead generation? How do we solve the attribution problem that an e-commerce client last year asked about? What tone do we use when we're responding to objections about pricing, for instance? The AI essentially gives them the answer instantly, based on your actual historical data and documentation. You've just essentially compressed months of onboarding into literally days. Guys, I think you might find this useful. Something that we've started to use in my businesses is Incard. It's a new financial platform designed specifically for high-growth modern businesses. Now, if you're running a business, you've probably found that one of the biggest headaches is managing money across different tools, currencies, and expenses. Right? So Incard essentially gives you multi-currency accounts, connected banking, and smart spend management all in one place. The best part, however, is that you can earn up to 2% cash back on everyday spend, such as ads, SaaS, and travel, earning you points every time you spend, and you can redeem them instantly for real cash in the platform. Check out Incard using the link in the description. If you're building or scaling an online business and you want a smarter way to manage your finances, check out Incard. Let's get back to the episode. So how do you actually build this? Well, here's a step-by-step playbook that you can implement in your business to be able to do this right now. Step 1 is gather your foundational documents. Don't upload everything, but upload the things that actually define how you operate. Your brand guidelines, your core value proposition, your ideal ICPs, for instance, customer profiles, your 3 best case studies, your pricing structure, the transcripts on your best sales calls, exactly what I went through earlier. Then step 2 is to create the project in Claude and upload the documents directly. Really think it through. Step 3 is to write the master prompt. This is essentially the most critical part of the process. You have to tell the AI what it is essentially and how to use the documents that you have uploaded. Be explicit. Say you're a strategic advisor to whatever company you run. Your job is to help us make better decisions, write better copy, and execute faster. Always reference the uploaded documents to ensure that your tone and strategic recommendations align exactly with our established practices. If a request contradicts our brand guidelines, then flag it. That kind of detail is super useful. Step 4 is to use it for a week or so and then refine it as you go. Start running your daily tasks through the project, draft your emails, review your ad copy, analyze your performance data. When the AI gives you the output that isn't quite right, and it will do that, don't just fix it manually and then move on. Tell the AI why it was wrong. That tone is too corporate. We speak more directly. Update the tone of voice document in your memory to reflect this exactly. Push back, be direct. Step 5 is to feed the project with the results to get that compounding effect, right? This is what we call the iteration loop that I spoke about earlier. When you launch a campaign that was developed in the project and it absolutely crushes its targets, upload the performance data. So tell it this campaign worked, the hook was strong, remember this for future campaigns. When a campaign fails, however, upload the data as well, but tell it this campaign didn't work, the audience didn't respond to this angle. Flag this approach as a risk in the future. That way it will understand what's good and what's bad. Over time, your Claude project essentially becomes the most valuable asset in your business, or one of the most valuable assets, I should say. It is essentially the brain that never forgets, that scales your best thinking, and that ensures your entire team is operating from the same playbook every single time. So stop starting from zero every morning. Build your brain, feed it with data, and watch how fast you can move when you never have to explain who you are ever again. Thanks so much for listening or watching. If you're on YouTube, the latest episode of The Unlock, remember to hit that follow, hit that subscribe button. Please share it with your friends, families, colleagues, and loved ones. This podcast doesn't grow without you. Honestly, it is really appreciated. I mentioned it earlier, but something that you may find super useful if you're a business managing multiple transactions across multiple platforms is InCard. It's a new financial platform for modern online businesses, giving you multi-currency accounts, connected banking, and smart spend management all in one place. Open a Euro, GBP, or USD account in minutes, attach cards for expenses, and earn up to 2% cash back on everyday spend like ads, SaaS, and travel. Check out InCard using the link in the description.